Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. We're happy to welcome you into the new year with this episode hitting right on the first of the year. Hope everybody had some wonderful gatherings and get-togethers to celebrate the 2023 year. So what we wanted to kick off the year with is a fun but very relatable topic. And I'm going to hand it over to Melissa to introduce our guest on our topic today.
Thanks, Cindy. Happy New Year. And Happy New Year to our guest who's joining us, giving so graciously of her time. We are welcoming Danyl Wagner to the podcast, our very first podcast of the new year, talking about something super important. A lot of folks are considering their fitness journey as we head into the new year with new you, new resolutions. And we are delighted to have Danyl join us on the podcast. Danyl Wagner is a certified personal trainer. She is a certified Spenga instructor and all things yoga, spin, and HIIT, and is currently in the process of her nutrition certification. So Danyl, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I am very excited to be here, very honored to be here with you two lovely ladies.
So again, super happy to have you, and an expert nonetheless. I think a lot of us are really going to look for the advice and the wisdom that you're going to kind of drop here. Not, I want to set the stage. But let's start with, tell us a little bit about you and how you got started with fitness and how you landed where you are now.
Sure. Always remember, it's never too late to start. So I love to eat. And I'm never going to deprive myself of anything. And I am only 5'2". So I had the best grandmother in the world. And she said, Danny, if you love to eat, you should probably start working out. And I was very young. So she introduced me to a gym. I'm from the Northeast and it was all women. So I went in there and I was probably like 12 years old. And, back then you wore the bright spandex and the thongs that go up your bum. And I fell in love and never looked back. Way back in the day, I was an aerobics instructor, the step aerobics like Jane Fonda or Richard Simmons, my favorite. Always watched Richard Simmons. So always wanted to be a fitness instructor, but unfortunately, life gets in the way. Things cost money. You have to work. When am I going to do it? You're going through school and then life gets in the way. So fast forward in my 50s, I happen to say, I'm at a place where, hey, I think I can do this now. And you can do anything online. So I became a certified personal trainer, which I was very proud. I kept it to myself. I didn't tell anybody but my husband. I said, I just want to do this. Just let me get through this. Passed. It was great. Yoga. I love yoga. And I one day happened to walk into a boutique fitness called Spenga, which we'll get into, and just tried it out. Didn't know what it was. Didn't know anything. Fell in love with it, as I think most people do, and asked him how to become a trainer. So that's how my journey started with Spenga. But with fitness, I always love to work out, even if it's just a walk, just taking a walk. I love to work out. I love yoga. I love all aspects of it. Am I the best? No, but I do it. It makes you feel better.
So I have to ask, do you still have those bright neon things that go up your rear end, or?
I do. There's somewhere in the closet.
If you do, you're not going to admit it. It's okay. All right. So that kind of leads into the next question. So I'm kind of interested to hear what does it take to become either a certified fitness trainer, or in what you're currently doing at Spenga, what kind of training do they actually have you go through?
So with Spenga, good question. So Spenga is, let's talk a little bit about that. So Spenga is fabulous. It is spin, strength, and yoga. And they took a little bit of each part of the word and put it together. It was created in 2015 in Illinois by two women and a man, but two women, and they run it. They are obviously over everything. We have trainings with them all the time. They are fabulous. I think, if I'm not mistaken, there's about 70 locations now since 2015 throughout the country. They're not everywhere, but they're popping up. It's franchised. So with Spenga training, I don't want to say it's not challenging, because it is. It's a weekend, and you go with a master instructor, and she or he goes through everything, the spin from beginning to end, everything that we need to know, safety to what we're allowed to do, what we're not allowed to do, which makes us different from any other spin studio. And then you get another each day. So then you go into strength room. You have another master instructor, everything from every piece of equipment, how we use it, all our different formats that we have. And then obviously the third day is the yoga. Another master instructor helps us through flows and whatnot. In our strength room, if you go to any Spenga in the country, we all do the same format workout and the same body part that particular day. So on a Friday, like today, we get the workouts for the next week, and they're all the same throughout the country. The instructor can she can do, or he can do anything in the spin room or the yoga room. That's their gig. That's what they can do. But strength comes from corporate. We follow what they tell us to do, whether we like it or not, members like it or not. That's what we have to do in that room. But it's a great workout. It is a low impact workout. Anybody can do it. You can modify anything you want. If you want to stand in a corner and lift your weights your way, it's different from any other workout that you've done. And I'm telling you, I love it. I love it. I have instructed 280, almost 300 sessions. And on the member side, I just hit my 100th session. So I was a little behind on that side.
Wow, that's really outstanding. I'm glad. Sorry, my mic is being fuzzy. I'm glad that you described what Spango is, because I mean, I'm used to hearing it from Melissa, and I think you told me about it, but I realized, like, I'm in Maryland, so I don't really have a
Hey,
Spango
that's where I'm
center.
from.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
from Baltimore. I
great.
was just up there.
Okay, yeah, I'm like right outside DC area, but
Okay.
there isn't a Spango center
There
like
is not a Spenga.
nearby.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Nope.
I think the closest is like somewhere in Virginia.
Virginia. Mm-hmm.
And some of our listeners might be, you can go on the website and see if there's one near you, but I think it's great that you describe what the components are of it, because it sounds like, you could probably piece some of those things together in your own training program. However, I think when I see spin classes, the level of like heightened motivation, I mean, I've seen them on TV and at my local gym when I'm walking by, kind of like looking from the side of my eye, a little intimidated in that I'm like, oh my gosh, that group of girls and guys, I mean, they look like a unit group, like we're
Cult.
here to win it.
Yeah.
Yes, I didn't
Yeah,
want to
like,
say it,
yeah, like
but
the France Detour pack or Detour. Yes. Like, I mean,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
yep.
It is. You are not alone, Cindy. Everybody is like that. When they first walk in, they are like, okay, I've never spun. I don't want to spin. All the instructors in our particular location brings a different level, right? So some of them are louder, some of them are softer, some of them are just so sweet. You just want to hug them. But it is 20 minutes, which you can definitely do. Nobody expects you to be like Lance Armstrong in the first 20 minutes, like ever. In our spin, we ride to different zones. So we have 4 different zones, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's a little bit, works your brain, you're trying to figure out your numbers and everything, but it's not that crazy. It's not like there's no flashing lights. It's good. It's louder. It's not crazy loud. But you're not alone. Everybody says that. Everybody says, I've never done spin before. Okay. And then once they get off, they're like, oh, okay. Okay. That was not easy, but okay, I could do it. Yeah. But I know what you're talking about.
So let's talk about, I'm going to piggyback off of what Cindy shared. So I am a member of Spenga, and that is how I met you, Danyl. You were my very first instructor, and I was that person sitting in the car saying, "What?
Yeah.
What? It's not too late. I'm not out of my car. Let me just put this thing in reverse and go home. This is a mistake." I don't even really think it was the first session or the second, maybe not even the third, that had me sold on, yeah, my body can do this. But what do you say to the people who are listening, who are like, I'm too overweight, or I'm too out of shape, or I got too much, other life stressors going on to commit to this, or just the person who's just like, I can't do this. Simply, I can't do this.
So Spenga aside, especially if there's not a Spenga next to or in your location, everybody knows, and everybody knows on the first, this is where you're like, okay, this is where I'm starting. My I can'ts are out the window. Everybody knows, everybody, I believe, wants to be healthy. I believe they want to be healthy. Maybe not like the 18-year-old supermodels that are airbrushed in every magazine that we all growing up have lived with, and it's embedded in our head. But you want to be healthy for your loved ones. You want to be healthy for yourself, for that clean bill of health at the doctors. No matter what age you are, you want to be healthy. Life gets in the way. And it's okay to be selfish 20 minutes a day or an hour a day. It's okay to say, I'm going to take myself outside and shut off my phone or listen to something, a beautiful podcast, and take a walk. Take a walk and look around. Just take a walk. Just take that first step. I don't want to say, clearly everybody has life. I don't want to keep saying that, but things that can get in their way, but you can do it. And all you have to do is take that first step. You don't have to buy a full gym, a Peloton. You don't have to buy a membership to anything. If you can go online in today's world, and there are so many fitness, anything you want. My mom is in her 80s and she's got friends in her 80s. I have a Facebook group for them called the Golden Ages. And I'm sitting in a chair, honestly, and just giving them little exercises to do. Just lift their knees up. So there's something for everyone out there. I promise you there is. So taking that first step, you can definitely do it. It doesn't have to be Spenga. It doesn't have to be a Lifetime Fitness or Planet Fitness. Just take it and grab somebody to go with you, or don't, but be selfish. Be selfish. 20 minutes a day. That's all you need.
I like that.
Would be great. Yeah.
I like that. So Cindy and I have started something kind of on the side where we're motivating each other in our own way, where
You need it. You do.
We're sending each other accountability photos and
yes.
Screenshotting our water bottles. Mine always stays at the top. I'm notoriously bad for drinking my water, but
water is like oil for your body. It keeps you lubricated and going.
Yeah. So it's just having that accountability. Great point.
Well, Melissa, I'm going to share something. So Melissa sent me a picture before she started really working out, really focusing on herself, really coming to Spenga. And then another photo. How many months apart was it? It couldn't have been many.
Yeah, I'm about to hit my 3 months with Spenga. So it was probably 2 months in.
Her transformation. And I see her all the time. So I didn't, I see this. She's looking better. I see her in the studio and she's like lifting, she's riding, she's getting out of the saddle, but having an accountability or putting up a photo and then taking another photo and put it next to yourself and you see the progress. And maybe weight loss isn't you don't need to lose weight, or maybe it's not what you want, but just to give yourself a little bit of time for your health, mental health too. Like, it makes you feel so much better when you're working out. Your endorphins are like, boom, and you're in a better mood. It is.
Yeah, you and I have had those discussions where I may not be physically seeing the change, but it's the little things to me that matter. It's the fact that, all right, I'm going to embarrass myself in front of the thousands of people who may listen to this, but it's the ability to stretch in a certain way in yoga, or
No doubt.
bring my arms up to high mountain and
Yeah.
actually meet them in a high mountain.
Yes.
So those are my wins. Those are my simple wins.
Yeah.
So,
And that's what you need. You need simple ones and then get progressively more. Maybe one that's out here, but you need like 5 simple ones to meet that goal. Yeah, it's great. And I will tell you, I enjoy this, helping others get there, no matter what their goal is, no matter what it is, no matter if they want to bend over and touch their toes. That's what I enjoy. That's why I do this. That's why we had a gal who was pregnant, well, this year. And she came in up until she was ready to pop. I mean, she was ready to pop. I'm like, please don't have this baby here. So I would give her, before we would come into the session, on the back of my little note cards, what she couldn't do. Like, I know she couldn't lay on her back, or she obviously couldn't lay on her stomach. So I would have like little notes for her, had her name and everything out there. So she would come in a few minutes early and I would say, okay, when we're doing this exercise, this is what you're doing. I'll remind you, but that's what I enjoy. And I think any instructor or any personal trainer, that's why we're in this, to help other people. That's what it's about. That's what it's about.
Yeah, it's honestly, that was like, I think the next prompted question that we had for you is, how you help others and how you kind of guide others into starting that journey for them. And at the beginning, when we were doing the intro, I love that you called it journey, because that really is what it is. It's like, I have, in the past gone into these like, okay, like sprints, like little sprints of like, I'm getting fit now, or I'm doing this. And then it just falls by the wayside for whatever reason.
Especially with women.
Yeah, because so
Take
much
care of
can
everybody.
happen.
Yes.
So
So
it's great. Yeah. Go ahead and if you can tell us about, how do you approach that mentality and getting people on board with, this is a lifelong journey.
It is. It is not a diet. It is not, okay, new year, new you, all that great stuff. Everything's fabulous. But women especially get into, they take care of everybody. We take care of everybody, no matter if you just have but if you're just married with no children, or you just have children and no spouse, or you have friends, or somebody needs something. Women always put someone else before them. It is a journey. It's not this, oh, I need to lose weight. No, you don't. You just need to, you have to want to be healthy. You have to want, I'm not saying don't eat the chocolate cake, because I mean, taste the chocolate cake if that's what you want to do. Maybe don't eat the whole cake. Maybe just taste the chocolate cake. I think we discussed this before. You never want to deprive yourself. It is a lifestyle. It's got to be your lifestyle, and you have to be selfish, and it's okay. Like, I am starting this right now. And no trainer can ever force you to say, Cindy, wake up tomorrow at 6 a.m. and you're coming to work out with me, and that is how it's going to be from now on. I can't, right? Like, you have to want to do it. And the only way that we can motivate you is to just be here, be your accountability partner, or just maybe check in with you and say, hey, even if you don't come to the gym, or you don't, hey, how you doing? Are you doing okay? Do you need anything? But I think, and you build the relationships, like, and it's not just a trainer client relationships, you build friendships. And I think that's what it is. We're all in it together. We're all in this together. And it's a lifestyle, not a diet, not a fad. Not, I'm going to work out today. Oh, I have to go. And listen, it's hard sometimes, especially at nighttime. You come home from work and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to go. But my husband, we have a Peloton, and we go to another gym, and sometimes he comes to Spenga. So what he did, he had this big goal, like he was going on an elk hunt, and he had to be like, he's camping out, he's riding on a horse. So he did a calendar, and he would write on the calendar in one color whatever he did, even if it was a 20-minute spin. That's what he did. And if he didn't, he had to put a red X over it. And then when he saw, like, if there were too many red X's, he was like, well, so it's like, you visually, you see it. So whatever you need, whether it is that calendar, or if there's a goal, like you're getting married, or if you're, you have a vacation you're going to, like put a picture of it and you see it and you're like, okay, wait, it's Friday and I've only taken a walk, or I've only worked out twice this week. Maybe I need to go. So it is hard to stay motivated. Weather has a factor, right? Like I know in Maryland, it's cold up there. Like you don't want to leave the comfort. I have the fireplace going right now, like I get it. I get it. So it's challenging, but it is a lifestyle, and it is your journey. It's your journey, your diary. You write it how you want to, but remember, we're all in it together and all in your corner. Always, always.
I love that. So like Cindy, I have yo-yo dieted. I have gone into gyms before and tried different things. I've tried CrossFit. I've tried, I mean, you name it, I've tried it. For whatever reason, for me, I found my niche with Spenga. It's working for me. I continue to go. I continue to push myself, show up. It may not be for everyone, like you said, but I think that like people who are listening, like when you mentioned like have that attainable goal for like your husband, it was the elk hunt. For some, it might be a vacation or a wedding, but it could even be something as simple as maybe it's not, hey, I want to look like this in a bikini or be in a size 4. No, it's rather, I want to go on vacation and walk without being out of breath.
Amen.
Be able to keep up with my group, or be able to, just challenge myself in whatever means. I mean, hell, if I'm being real, I never did yoga in my life. Like the ability to go into some of these moves, and you have to, at the end of the day, you have to thank your body for showing up and
Yes.
doing the work that it did for you. But make sure that your goal setting is attainable, like little goals. You don't have to go in and pull into that first session saying, in a month, I'm going to be a size 4 and I'm going to rep and lift and this and that. And no, I mean, I'm super happy with the small attainable goals that I've been setting for myself, because I realized that the weight that I've gained over the past few years didn't come on overnight. And, I'm sure,
No.
didn't come on overnight. And I'm sure Cindy can, attest to the same fact. It doesn't come on overnight. And it's not going to come off overnight. And
No,
so,
unfortunately.
yeah. I mean, but I think the one thing that I've been super fortunate and blessed with is that all of the instructors who I've worked with over the past few months, they all bring their unique personalities, right? So you got your hype woman, you got your motivator, you got the one, you're going to cry with, because she, at the very end, she's going to say something that's going to just touch you in the right spot within your soul. And, you've got all of that. So it's just super powerful.
You have to also remember everybody, I don't care if they are the most fit person in whatever gym you go into. If you go into a gym, everybody's taking that first step. Everybody has been there, where you walk and there's nothing more intimidating, especially as a woman. You go over to a weight machine and you're like, well, son of a gun, I do not know how to move this seat. And you're looking around like, can anybody help me? And like, they're going, oh, I get it. I totally get it. Like, I get it. Like, but they've all been there, and they've all taken the first step. So that's all it is. Just take that first step. And in Spenga, Melissa can attest, it's all walks of life. Like there are all walks of life. There are people that are there that are just fit to a T. There are people there that are in their 60s. So it's all walks of life. Yeah, but just remember, everybody's been there. Everybody's taken like their first step in their journey, no matter what it is.
Yeah,
So.
and I'm gonna let Cindy get a word in here, but I want to just stress, you're lapping those who are sitting on the couch, right? You're lapping those
right.
who aren't taking those steps. And you're
That's
right.
right.
You're right. There are people in all walks of life. People like, I think though, when you go into a modern gym, you got all those lunks, the men
Right.
who can't put their arms down by their
Right.
side, or they're women, and then you go in and you just feel whatever you feel. You feel the normal, natural feelings that women feel. Yeah. And so it is real.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I want to touch on 2 things, but related to mindset. And I want to
Okay.
get your take on this because I think personally, my biggest barrier has always been the combination of these two. So the way that I work, like in my workplace, does not work for me personally when it comes to fitness. In that, like, say in whatever my 9 to 5 is at the time, I'm always like, I can dive right in. I can do it solo. I'm concentrated, fixated, and it gets done.
Okay.
When it comes to my fitness journey, the times that I'm thinking about here, sitting listening to y'all, is when it's in community teamwork, like being held accountable type of work. Like it never really pans out when it's just me by myself. Like I'm gonna do this, there's lots of like I've gone on YouTube and there's like Sugar Pop Fit or something like that, I think it's called. And I try to do it, but I'm by myself and it just
Yeah.
kind of is like, all right, I'm tired. It's only when like, I did Zumba because I was working with someone who was a Zumba instructor and she literally dragged me to the sessions, like the first couple ones, and I couldn't get away from her because we worked right next to each other. And so I caved into the peer pressure but there I was with her like side by side. And, even, I played tennis and that was a team sport. And it's so I think I want to know what your thoughts are around like reshaping your mentality around what works best for you when it comes to fitness compared to like other aspects of your life.
I think in that aspect, like your Zumba gal that drug you every day is fantastic. I believe I've always preferred to work out alone. Always. I never wanted anybody there ever. I wanted to go in, I wanted to do my thing, and I wanted to leave. And the old Walkman or whatever we had back then. That's how I was. That's how I always was. Got married. My husband always wanted to work out together. Clearly, he's a 6'2" man and he can lift more or different, or his body doesn't work like my body, but we go together. So we go together. I'll give him a workout. I'll do a workout, or we'll do something together. As I got older, getting into group fitness, I think for somebody maybe like you, Cindy, to get into a group fitness is perfect. And maybe weight loss is not why you need to go, but you need to go for mental reasons, and accountability like you two have is perfect. And it's okay. Like you are allowed to say, okay, well, I need someone to lean on. It's okay. You can do that. And they may need you to lean on. So if you say, okay, we're going to meet at the gym Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 5:00 p.m., you don't want to disappoint that person, or you don't want them to show up and you're not there. Like that's like the worst. You don't want to do that. You don't want to be that person, and vice versa. That's how they're going to think. That's how they're going to feel. So for me, I can't say that I wanted always someone to go with me, but it was hard. Like I worked the 9 to 5 job. I drove an hour to get home. And then I'm like, if I didn't have my gym bag in the car and I walked into my house, I wasn't going back out. Not at all. So it's okay. I don't want to say to fail. It's okay that if you say today, I'm going to sit home, I'm okay, but I will go tomorrow, or I will take that walk tomorrow, or I will do something. I don't know if that answered your questions.
No, it did. I think it definitely did. And then I think you were saying it in kind of between the lines of like modifications, right? Like if you
Yes.
can't do it to
Like,
the full extent.
no, you don't need to. Nobody needs to. We're not Arnold Schwarzenegger. We're not like being up. I mean, you could be if you wanted to be up on stage. That's great. But you're right. Absolutely. And don't be hard on yourself. Don't be like, oh my gosh, like, let me tell you something. My husband's out of town. I'm having ladies come over tonight. We're going to drink wine, eat cheese, and I may not do anything tomorrow until he comes home. So it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You can take your selfish day, maybe to sit on the couch. You have a child. Like, you're not going to get that all the time. So if you say, yeah, that's what I'm doing today, I'm okay with it. But don't do it every day. Get out there. Put yourself out there, take yourself out of that comfort zone, off that comfy couch and out into the world. Everybody's taking that first step. So you just got to try it. You just got to do it.
Yeah, I think that there are people probably who will be listening that don't have an accountability partner, like Cindy mentioned, or
Yeah.
maybe if they have a partner in life, maybe that partner is not supportive of them
Right.
going on a fitness journey. I mean, that's very real. You might have a significant other who doesn't want to walk that walk in life with you. And so
Right.
you need to be, everyone's accountability reasons are for different reasons. For me, at my age in life, it's, I want to be well to, help
Your son.
my son and my grandkids and all of those things in life. And so if I'm not accountable to I mean, like Cindy and I were doing our best. Cindy, we didn't exchange our day 2 photos though, so we owe each other day 2 photos. Okay. But it's keeping yourself accountable, and if you're not accountable to somebody else, at least be accountable to yourself.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Hit me up on the social media. I'll be their accountability partner. Always,
All right.
always.
So in wrapping up, we are going to share like how people can get a hold of you, or if anyone's listening in the local area, how they can visit you at Spenga.
1-800-HOT-BROAD.
1-800 Hot Broad. I love it. My last question for you, Danyelle, is tailored around, so how does the expert, so I have only had the distinct pleasure of riding with you as a student once or twice. So how do you go from the trainer to the student? And what do you do to protect your own, accountability and well-being? And I mean, you're so giving to others, right? So you're there for the hour, you're bringing up all of us. We're there, we're spinning, we're lifting, we're yogaing, but we're doing it, you're there motivating us. I guess as a student, how are you motivating yourself?
Good question. So I will say it's challenging to be on that side of the podium, not challenging to be on that side, but now I'm working. Like now I'm like, okay. In the beginning, I would think, okay, well, I have to do everything perfect because people are looking at me. Well, let me tell you something. It's hard. Like our workouts are pretty challenging. So I just always try to listen to the instructor as best as I can, but I always modify anything that doesn't work for my body. I'm not as young as a lot of our instructors. So when we're doing jumping jacks and stuff, I'm not jumping. I'm not a jumper. Everybody knows that. I'll do something else. So to stay motivated, I think as I've gotten older, I do enjoy the group. I do enjoy, even if it's a small group or it's a big group that we have in Spenga, I enjoy it. And I love seeing the other people and still helping people out in the session. But it's challenging sometimes to be on that side of the fence when the instructor's like, okay, just 10 more seconds. And in my head, I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? Just 10 more seconds. But we're all in it together. We're all doing it. So yeah, it's I think the instructor, whoever's up there, always motivates us when we're on this side of the podium. So
Love it. Yeah. I mean, great motivation too. I think I shared this in the last episode, I think, maybe not, but Melissa knows I bought a rower. Like I bought a rowing machine
do you love
because
it?
I have not opened it out of the box. But I just bought it. It just got delivered.
Okay.
So I have to somehow figure out how to carry this 100-pound box up to our, upstairs. But it says it works out 86% of your muscles in 20
It's very good for
minutes.
you. Very good for you.
So I'm trying to lower the barriers. Melissa and I started our, what was it, 75-day challenge or something is how we're kicking it off. And I got an Oculus earlier this year because they also do fitness programs. And so I'm kind of sore right now from, I can't even go up the stairs. So, things are moving. And I'm glad that we have you on because I love that, a lot of the points that you shared, I feel like is not common sense to most people who working out is not their day to day, a cup of tea. Like it just isn't.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that just listening through, at least hearing us being vulnerable and you being, a wise guide, that they're motivated to kind of kick off the year. And even if you're not listening, or, at the beginning of the year, you're listening in October down the line or something, there's no better day than today.
You're right.
Love it. Preach it, Cindy. Preach it.
You are right.
All right. So Danyl, we always close with this. We always give our guests the opportunity to share. If Danyl today could tell Danyl of yesterday or yesteryear anything, what would Danyl today share with the young Danyl?
That's very good. That might make me cry. It's something I probably have learned. I would say, Danyl of yesteryear, cliche, don't sweat the small stuff and hug the ones you love. Just hug the ones you love, and always be nice to that stranger. Don't meet a stranger. Yeah. I could go into like save your money, all that stuff, but that doesn't matter. Yeah. Hug the ones you love. Yeah. That's a good one.
Well, I am over every time we do a podcast. I'm like, this was my favorite. I'm putting the pin in this podcast episode.
Podcast.
I am pinning I'm pinning you, Danyl.
So since I'm going to cut you. Sorry. Since we were talking about accountability, how about I come back in 3 months and see where everybody is with the rowing, and if any of your listeners have reached out to you, anybody needs anything, absolutely come back and see where we are.
We would be honored. We would be honored.
I would be very honored as well.
Honored. All right. So how do people get in touch? How do people reach out to you?
So I would say I'm not a big Instagrammer, but I do have Instagram. It is Danyl, Danyl 913. And that's my Instagram. I don't think that's my Facebook. Facebook is Danyl Filos, my maiden name. Danyl, F like Frank, Ilos. That's me.
And if anyone's in the Flower Mound, Texas area or surrounding area, you can come visit Danyl at the Spenga studio in Flower Mound.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Do you have a routine schedule?
Well, January is going to be crazy. So I'm going to be there pretty much almost every day, all day. We just had a young gal who is going off to pursue other things. But we're getting new instructors in. So I'm usually there in the evenings would be the greatest time. Tuesday and Thursday evenings are the best.
Great. And if anyone's contemplating coming to take a class, Danyl was my very first instructor and definitely kind of hooked me into that next session. And I would be proud to ride beside a new rider in the back.
Oh my gosh.
In the back row. I typically ride in the back, but last night I challenged myself and walked in to the very front row, and Danyl said, "Are you riding in the front row?" And I'm like, "I sure am."
Yeah.
So that was definitely interesting for sure.
That was good.
Well, we have your contact information. We have a commitment that you will be back in a couple months to check on some accountability statements that we have made. Cindy with a rower. We're gonna
better be out of the box, Cindy.
Water and
it will be
good. Very good.
Well, wishing all of our listeners a very happy new year and all the best, whether that's a fitness journey, a goal discovery, goal setting, whatever it looks like for you. We just wish you health, happiness, and prosperity into the new year. Danyl, thank you so much for your time. I will see you maybe this weekend if you're riding this weekend, or Monday night. I'll see you very soon. I'll be seeing you in the new year. Cindy, I'll be exchanging my photos with you very shortly. And until next time, keep interrupting.